Hi everybody, my name is John Cadieux and they call me the Beef Boss, and I'm the Thriller on the Grilla. And I'm here for Tender Meat Poland to show you the beef brief. Everything you need to know about cooking a steak in less than 3 minutes. Let's go! John again with the beef in brief. Today we're talking about the Cowboy Steaks. And this is my steel horse, and this is what we're gonna ride it on. The big Cowboy Steak, this big, beautiful steak. A steak like this requires a few little tips and tricks to cook properly because it's so big and it takes a long time, between 25 and 35 minutes to cook. So we're gonna use a couple great things to do it. We're gonna use one of these probes to make sure. We just stick this probe inside and make sure we get a great temperature. You can pick whatever temperature you want, medium rare, medium, well done if you want. If you want it well done, cook it well done. It's about your steak, your way. Cook it however you want. Is make sure you take this out of the fridge for about an hour before you cook it, because you want that internal temperature, the inside of the beef, to be about the same temperature as the outside, room temperature. Because if you cook this straight from the fridge and you use that handy probe in there, it'll always tell you a very, very cold temperature. So you'll have very, very cooked on the outside and then super, super rare on the inside, and we don't want that. So what we do is we call that tempering. We bring the steak up to temperature and make sure it's about room temperature, and it'll cook much more evenly. With a piece of meat like this, you have our bone right here, which is always amazing, amazing flavor. But some people, and again, when you cook that, it'll be more well done on the outside. So when you cook this piece of meat, you'll cook it more here, and it'll always be a little bit rarer on the inside near the bone. So we do a little trick here, is that we just carve this right like that. So we just open that up, give it a little space to breathe, and then you'll see it'll cook much more evenly and be way easier to cook, and you'll have a much more even cooking. Now, if you wanted to have even more in the middle, when we're about done cooking it, about 20-25 minutes in, we'll take that bone off and we can throw that bone on the grill. Whatever you want to do, you do it your way. I'm going to show you my favorite way and the things that I've learned over 30 years of cooking great steak all over the world. You only need a couple of things to make this steak great, because we spent a lot of energy in the United States with the farmers and the ranchers building up all this beautiful fat. And with this fat, you get flavor. So we don't want to lose that flavor. So all we use is a very, very clean oil. I don't tend to use olive oil unless I'm cooking Italian food. For beef, I like the nice clean oil, a vegetable or a canola oil. And lots of salt, because most of this salt will actually come off on the grill. And just rub that in there and make sure that it's covered in salt real nice there. Now we're gonna go over to our grill. Now I've been cooking a few steaks today because I love cooking steak. So we give it a little bit of a clean, make sure that our surface is clean before we get there. And we just take a little bit of a piece of paper, a paper towel with the same oil that we use there, and we just give that grill just a little bit of a clean and make sure that we're starting from a really clean surface. Now, it doesn't matter if you're cooking it in a pan at home or on a grill pan like this. The techniques that I use and the techniques that work really well for cooking steak are always the same. Turn and turn, build those juices, and get some really amazing flavor. So we're gonna go on that grill, and you're gonna see it. You hear all that great sizzle. What we're trying to do here is build up color and build up crust. We want to build up what's called the Maillard reaction, and that's the caramelization of all those sugars that animal has been eating for the last couple of years. Really amazing flavor, and that's all that beautiful browning that you see on the inside. So I'm a turner. That's what I do. I'm a flipper. I like to move my steak around. So because I want to build up all that flavor all the way around. I don't cook for lines, I cook for flavor. That's the most important thing for me. Flavor. It'll look, for me, that looks beautiful as well. When we hit that beautiful browning on the inside, we call that in the business GBD, golden brown delicious. And that's what we're after, is golden brown and delicious. There's nothing more that I like better than cooking beef with my friends. But if I leave my grill open like this all the time, I'm gonna lose all that heat. So what I do is, after my friends or I finish my beer, I'll just close my grill and I'll put that beer can right in the corner. And then it gives me a little bit of air in here so that when I close this, I don't create an oven, but I get a little bit of maintaining the right temperature, and also I get a little bit of airflow so I don't bake it. I don't want to bake my steak. I'm here to grill steaks, and that's what I do. And like I said, it doesn't matter if it's on a pan, on a charcoal, over an open fire, on a big green egg, whatever you want to cook on, that's your choice. But try and follow a few simple techniques to improve that flavor and end up with a great, great result. The other thing you have to worry about too, or think about, is that as soon as you turn, if I turn that steak over in the same place, that grill's gonna be much colder because I've already put a cooler piece of meat on that grill. So I like to move my steak around the grill and make sure that I'm using all the parts of my grill to make sure that I'm getting all that heat that's available for me in that grill. And like I said, I'm gonna keep opening and closing it. I'm watching it. I'm sitting around with my friends. I'm enjoying it. When I'm thinking about this beef, I'm thinking about how great a life it has. And that's what's really amazing about the US beef system, is that the farmer rancher, the better the beef that he makes or she makes, the better the price they get for that cattle. So it's almost a perfect system. The happier, the healthier, the more sustainable, the more consistent beef that you get, the better the price that the farmer gets. And in this day and age, we want to make sure that we take care of those farmers so they continue to make great food for us so we can enjoy it with our friends and family. So you see, I'm just going to be moving my steak around a few more times. A steak like this fat steak here will take about 30, maybe 45 minutes, depending on how you want it. Again, it's always up to you. You cook steak how you like it. On a big, beautiful cowboy like this, you see this beautiful rib cap. That's my favorite part of the meat. So, but because it's on the very outside, that'll be a little bit more cooked. So I'll take that off first and I'll say, oh my friend, you take the middle part, which is beautiful and red. I'll take the outside that's a little bit more cooked. It's a little trick I learned way back in the day because that rib cap has so much flavor and so much tenderness. It really is the best part of meat for me. That's my go-to every single time. I'm still giving my friend a great piece of meat, but I save the good parts for me. You can even put that beef right like that because we want that color all the way around. Just leave it like that for a few minutes. And when we do that, when we turn, when we cook from all sides, what we do is we drive those juices right into the middle of the meat. And that's what we want. We want them in the middle. We don't want them on the outside because the juices are gone. Drive those juices in the middle. And then when we take that steak off, let it relax for a few minutes. Let it sit down for a few minutes. It'll really, all those juices will come back throughout the meat. It'll make for a great, great steak. You can see I turn my meat every minute, every 2 minutes, every 45 seconds. It depends how I'm feeling. It depends how my grill is doing. It depends on a lot of factors. How cold it is outside, how warm it is in the kitchen. I'm always listening. I'm listening to that sizzle. They don't call me the Thriller on the Griller for nothing because I spend a lot of time grilling meat and that's what I love to do the most. I've been doing this for almost 30 years and I love it. I love cooking great, great pieces of meat. I'm not a fancy chef. I don't make foams. I don't make jellies. I don't make fake caviar. I make great steak. And you can see all I added was a little bit of oil, a little bit of salt, and my secret ingredient that I always add to my steak is a little bit of love. Because if you don't love what you do, don't do it. Make sure that you pay attention to what you're doing because it's taken just about 2 years for this great animal to get to this stage. And if you ruin it then, it's a really sad thing for me. So I always try and really be emotional when I'm picking a steak out. It takes me about 20 minutes just to pick a steak out of the grocery store because I'm thinking about what they call in French terroir, the idea of where did that steak come from? Where did that wine come from? The flavors, the textures, all those things, the grass, the grain, the breeding of the animal, all super important. And then when I get it home, I'm listening. I'm listening to the sizzle. I'm listening to how my beef is reacting. And you can see we've already started to build up all that beautiful caramel on there. That's sugar. That's all those amino acids. And it's getting really golden brown and delicious. And you can see right there where we made our cut earlier to improve that cooking, to make it a better cooking all the way through, that's gonna make it really easy to cook it a really even steak. And it's really, really fantastic. We're gonna keep on turning this and keep on moving it around the grill and build up that flavor and build up those juices. This is gonna be an amazing steak. I've cooked a few steaks in my day, maybe a few thousand steaks maybe a few million steaks in my day. So when I put a piece of meat on, when I hear that sizzle, when I look at that color, I can already tell. I can feel the juices flowing in my mouth and I know this is gonna be a great, great steak. I can't wait. Let's go! All right, everybody, We've got our cowboy steak, cooked on our steel horse, did its job, gave us all that beautiful color. Look at that, all that GBD, golden brown, delicious. Oh baby, this is gonna be good. We let that rest, nice and long time. This one was full of fat, so we brought this up a little bit over medium because we want all that fat to melt. About 54, 58 degrees, bring it up. My cameraman likes his beef a little bit more done, so that's why we brought this one up a little bit higher. But look at all that beautiful fat in there, all that beautiful color. We got some beautiful roasted onions on the barbecue, some mushrooms, some beautiful tomatoes for color, some gorgeous, gorgeous green onions that we did on the barbecue. We'll throw a little bit of fresh parsley on there. It's just really light, really, really fresh, and with all of this fat and all of this richness, just super amazing. Really, you know, you always try and think what's gonna go great with that, and these kind of things that help cut the fat and make it more and more juicy is really good. Look at this. Oh my God, look at that. Oh my God, even after all that time, just full of juice and full of flavor. And then, you know, this is all about a show. It's all about having a good time. It's all about enjoying yourself, spending time with family. Sometimes I like to put on a good show, and people come out and I put the beef on there for them, and I'm like, just wait a second. I always need a little bit of butter. Remember, Mom says everything's always better with butter. A little bit of fresh butter. Beef and butter go hand in hand, right? From mother's milk right to butter. That's what we do. And then what I do is I take a little bit of salt and I put it on there. People go, what are you doing? And I bring it. Hey! There you go. A little bit of salt on that. Perfect amount. Cascading over. This is going to be, I'm going to have a little bit of this rib cap. See what I told you earlier? Remember? The rib cap is one of the most tender pieces of meat. It's more well done, but look at all that juice. Oh my God, look at it. It's so, look at my hands. They're so juicy. Oh my God. Fat, juice, fire, friends, sun, cattle. It's good to be alive, my friends. If you're gonna buy beef, buy great beef, buy US beef. Talk to our friends at Tender Meat Poland. Buy special occasions, whenever you need a great piece of meat, whenever you want to change. This is life-changing beef right here. This will blow your mind and change your life. Be good to each other, cook great meat, enjoy life, and be safe out there. Take care, everybody. Meat Maestro, signing off.